the models that it fits. So not sure if the buyer looked at that or not. So here is the return, and pretty sure this is not how I shipped it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Richard. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay where I find items to resell for a profit. So in this video, I'm going to go over the week in sales, letting you know where I picked the item up, how much I paid for it, and what I sold the item for. So let's get started. Today is Tuesday, January 25th, and we have 2 eBay orders going out today. But before we get into those orders, a couple things I wanted to discuss. 1, handling returns, and 2, what happens when you make a mistake on a shipment of an order and you don't ship out enough of the product. So I got a return back for this AT&T main base. And the reason why, if you click here, return, the buyer put does not fit, doesn't work with my phones. If you notice, I actually put the charger and all of the models that it fits. So, not sure if the buyer looked at that or not. So, here is the return. And pretty sure this is not how I shipped it. So, let's open it up. And that's how I got it back. Not sure what that is. So one thing you want to make sure is there's a serial number. And in my photos, I always take close-up details of this. So that way I can confirm that they did ship me back the right one and didn't try to do a bait and switch on me. I'll go ahead and refund the buyer. Obviously, since it was their mistake, not mine, I'll issue the full refund for the item, but not the shipping. Second thing, how do you handle when you, as a seller, make a mistake? In this particular case, buyer came in and bought 4 lots of these. And when I shipped this out, I didn't pay that close attention. And I only shipped out 2 lots. So a total of 4. Buyer reached out to me. I was supposed to receive 8, not 4. Of the product. It was listed as a 2-pack, which the buyer is correct. It was listed as a 2-pack. It goes on and says, da 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 da. I have not reached out to eBay, but will if I do not hear from you. I will seek a return of my money. Thank you, and the person. So I looked that up, and yes, that was my mistake. I had only shipped out 4, so I replied back to the buyer. So that message from the buyer kind of sounded a little upset. So what I did is I replied back and I said, my sincerest apologies. You should have been shipped a total of 8 and not 4. I will get those shipped out today and get you a tracking number on the shipment. Thank you for reaching out to me and allowing me to make this right. Thank you again for your purchase. So let me know down in the comments, when you make mistakes like that, how do you handle it? So jumping into today's orders, first thing we have going out is 2 of these Ace elbow pads. Picked these up on RA Retail Arbitrage. Got these Walmart clearance, meant to each one for $1. These sold for $17.72, and the buyer is paying $5.30 in shipping. These 2 will easily go out first class. Now, when I ship these, because they're just pads, they're not going to get damaged, I just use a regular poly bag. This next item going out happens to be a pretty good item. This thing I had purchased at my local thrift store. I'm into it for only 25 cents. It was sitting down in my debt pile for probably about a month. Finally went through the stuff, and I knew the office stuff would sell, but was surprised on this particular item. And when I actually looked it up, I didn't see any sold comps, but I did see another one listed. So I pretty much kind of duplicated their listing and came in under them. So this is the Office TV Show promo t-shirt, 2006, rare black Michael Scott. It is a size 2XL. Now originally when I listed this, usually t-shirts I don't do measurements on. I just disclose what size it is. This particular buyer actually came in and asked me if I had measurements. I said no, it was a 2XL, and I normally don't do measurements on t-shirts. They reached back out to me again and said that they were very interested in the shirt and if I could provide some measurements. So I decided to go ahead and pull the shirt back out of inventory, pull it out of the bag, and actually do. So the way I do measurements is a lot of times, because people measure things differently, so I actually took and laid out a tape from pit to pit, and then from top down to bottom, and then did from the center of the tag to the edge of the sleeve. And so that's usually what I do with measurements, rather than disclosing the measurements in the description. So this buyer came in and actually made me an offer. I don't turn on best offers anymore. If the buyer's really interested, a lot of times they'll reach out to you, and then you can decide to go ahead and send them an offer or not. They came in and said that they'd be willing to do $75 on this shirt. I countered back and said, because I had just listed it, I would be willing to do $85. So, buyer came in, I actually put best offers on and did the lowest at $85. The buyer came in, and so this sold for $85 even, and the buyer is paying $6 in shipping. So with this, I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in a priority or just send it out first class. Let me know down below how you would ship this out. Would you actually ship this out in a priority to give you some insurance, or would you just go ahead and ship it out first class without any insurance? Today is Wednesday, January 26th, and we have two pretty good eBay orders going out today. First order we have going out happens to be this Ralph Lauren polo bag. Picked this up at my local thrift store for $6. This sold for $53.36, and the buyer is paying $7.95 in shipping. Now with this is actually going to Canada, so it's going through the global shipping program. With the global shipping program, all you have to do is get this safely to Kentucky, where eBay then takes responsibility for the item and sends it on to the buyer. So next item going out happens to be a pair of these Carhartt jeans. I did put Carhartt flannel lined work dungaree denim blue jeans, and I included the number on the tag, which is B14DST, and the size is 32-32. With Carhartt jeans, on the tag has the model of every single product for Carhartt. So if you look on the tag here, it's got it right there, which is B14DST, and you could actually look up comps based upon that to find comparable sold items. These sold for $41.79, and the buyer is paying $11.19 in shipping. Now with jeans, I usually will ship them out in a flat rate envelope. These are a little thicker, they might not fit. In that case, I use the padded flat rate envelope. One of the other reasons I actually put clothes, especially jeans, in a clear poly bag makes it a lot easier to slide in when you already have it to the right size. Today is Friday, January 28th, and we have 4 eBay orders going out today. First item we have going out is a lot of two of these Biggin black brown number 58 men's hair dye. Picked these up on RA. Not such a great deal. I'm glad these are the last two. Picked up each one for $3.76, so cost of goods is about $7.50. These sold for $12.28, and they are going free shipping. This next item going out happens to be an item I picked up at my local thrift store. Seen it right away and did some comps on it. Comps look pretty good. It's this Clifford, the big red dog. Paid $2 at my local thrift store. Unfortunately, I didn't mean for this to go free shipping. I obviously made a mistake in the listing, but I'll still make pretty good profit on this. This sold for $22.84. Shipping on this will probably be around $6, $7. This next item going out happens to be an item I picked up at a high bid haul. This is not one that I'm actually tracking. Happens to be a set of these genuine porcelain china gold standard. This happens to be the pink rose. It's the creamer and sugar. Bought a set of these. I'm into them for $8 for the entire set. These sold for $17.56, and the buyer is paying $10.11 in shipping. This next item happens to be an item that I picked up at a garage sale. Happens to be this Hug Fun Puppy Love. Paid $1 for it. Wouldn't accepted a best offer of $13 on this. And the buyer is paying $5.25 in shipping. Today is Monday, January 31st. And we have 8 items going out today. A couple of them are pretty big bolo items. This first item I picked up on a high bid haul quite a while ago. These have been sitting in my store for a while. It happens to be this Cooking Concepts glass cutting board. It does have wine. I put wine, spaghetti, dinner design. Cost of goods into this is probably around 50 cents, maybe a quarter. I bought it on a lot of dishes. Actually had 2 of these, so sold one. This sold for $6.45, and the buyer is paying $10.15 in shipping. This next item happens to be a Titleist Pro V1 Hat. Picked this up at my local thrift store. I'm into it for 50 cents. This sold for $15.26, and the buyer did pay $5.30 in shipping. This next item going out happens to be this Fender custom shop metal sign. Picked this up at my local thrift store. This I'm into it for $1. This sold for $25.46, and the buyer is paying $5.95 in shipping. This next item going out happens to be Nintendo DS Peggle Dual Shot. It is complete. Does have the manual and the game cartridge. I'm into this for $2 at my local thrift store. This sold for $17.81, and it is going free shipping. Hope you found some benefit out of this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Helps the channel. Also, too, if you're not currently subscribed, consider subscribing down below and hitting the bell notification. You'll be notified the next time I do a video. Until next time, keep picking. Let me down below. This next item going out, another pretty good item, happens to be a pair of these Carhartt. Usually I can get them to go in a... Be right back. I don't have any flat rates here. This next item happens to be an item I picked up at my local thrift store. This next item happens to be an item that I picked up at a garage sale. This first item, cost of goods into this, since it was in a lot of stuff. Cost of goods into this sold for